Greetings everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Weekly Challenges Guide. Now for those of you who are new to this series, or those that need a bit of a refresher, the Weekly Challenge is a set of 5 events that go live Thursday night, Friday morning, depending on your region. These usually tend to include 4 events that are already there and may need to be unlocked depending on your progress, while the 5th is a special event that takes place as a race, a mission challenge, a time trial, whichever, for that week only. So with that out of the way, let's see what this week has on offer. We kick things off with the Japanese FF Challenge 450. This is a 2-lap race around Autopolis International Racing Course, short course. And of course, you'll need a road car from Japan and with an FF drivetrain. So, pretty simple, standard stuff. It tends to be one of the easier races to do. And for that reason, I usually go with something like this, the Mitsubishi GP version R. Drives well enough, and I don't really need a setup for it, so on the default tires as well. So let's do a lap around here. And if you've done a lap around the full version, not a lot changes here. Most of the lap pretty much is identical. So that includes right about here, where you start braking at the 100 meter board, down to second gear, right about in the middle, and accelerate right on out to the curb. Pretty much carry it right on out over to the line through turn 3. And then brake right about there at the 100 board again. And what I tend to do is carry momentum through here, 60 to 59 or so. I don't really feel the need to downshift just yet until right about here, as the curb on the right disappears. Second gear, very slowly accelerate right about here, as you see that curb. And then we get to this turn here. You don't really have to downshift. You just can hold the momentum, hold it right about there until you see that marshal's post in the middle of your screen, then accelerate. Now here is where things start to change a bit. Because you get the car to the left, and you see these boards over here, you want to brake right before the third one in a row. Start wide out, turn wide in, and begin to accelerate just as this curb is right there in front of you, and you will hit it a bit. But that's the best way to come out of that corner. And that is a lap around Autopolis Racing Course, short course. And now, back onto the race itself. So here, some of the best spots I found for overtaking tend to be turns 1, 3, 8, and 10. Now you will need to be aware of the AI in turns 4 through 6, as they tend to brake a lot through that part. They're way more than you ever will need to. So if you're going for a clean race bonus, you'll want to keep that in mind as you do that. Next up, the pickup truck race. This is a 3-lap race around Willow Springs International Raceway, Big Willow. And of course, as usual, the trucks you will need are either the Toyota Tundra TRD Pro or the Ford F-150 SVT Raptor. And of course, for this, I'm going to use the F-150 SVT Raptor because this has the slicks from when I first attempted this, so made sense. So let's take this for a lap around here. This will be interesting to do in the truck. So we go into turn 1, brake at that 100 board, the 4th gear. Accelerate right on out here. Be careful about that. And here, I usually downshift a bit to 4th gear. Pardon the supercharger whine over and over. But I tend to carry that momentum through, then downshift about the mid-corner there. Carry all the speed here until right before the 50 board. Downshift to about 2nd to this corner there. Well, be careful if you're around the AI doing this. And then downshift here. You can downshift to 2nd if you want. I tend to carry 3rd through there. And this corner here, downshift to 3rd. It's about fine. And just keep on the power through this section here. Now you will want to keep tight to that in the corner there. And then comes these last two corners, which is really important for that final one, because here, I want to stick to the inside there, carry as much speed as possible, and then set yourself up right about there. Brake at the 200, 105th, carry that speed all the way in, and tighten that exit up, power on. Should get you through if all is done well. And that is a lap around Willow Springs and Raceway, Big Willow. Now, on to the race itself. So, here, the best spots for overtaking the AI, for me anyway, are turn 1, 2, 3, 6, and 9. Found those some of the easier spots where to overtake them. And again, another one of the easier races here. But beware of the AI in turns 4 through 6 as well as 9. Again, they brake way harder than you will ever need to, and it's multiples of them doing that. So again, if you're going for a clean race bonus, keep that in mind. Next, the Nissan GTR Cup. This is a 5-lap race around Blue Moon Bay Speedway, Infield A verse, sports tires, and pretty much any GTR from any year is allowed, including the one from the Power Pack. So for this, naturally, I'm going to bring out my built Nissan GTR Premium T-Spec GTR. See, it's on the sports softs, and here's a setup I put together. Nothing special, but it gets the job done at my hands, and on sports softs too, so give it a try if you need to. So, here is a lap around Blue Moon Bay Infield A reverse. So here we brake right where that right after it is. In 5th gear, carry that speed at the top, and then brake right at that 100 board there to 2nd, so you can get that curve there. And then we have these very tight corners there. Brake, now the 2nd, as that curve comes up. Carry that speed right out of this corner here, and then brake just before the shadow of that bridge there. Carefully bring that power around, and then get on the power on exit. And then comes some very tricky sections here to get right. So go to the right there, brake to 3rd gear, touch the curb there, you can get a little lower if you want. And I can usually get through here at 4th, but you can do 3rd if you want to. Want to carry that speed right on out up to the wall, and then brake just as that transition happens there. Keep close to the curb, and then accelerate right on out. It'll be a little bit of a rough transition back up to the banking, but it will work just fine. Carry all that speed, and that's lap around Blue Bay Raceway. So let's get back to the race. And so the quick tips for this one: best spots for overtaking are turns 1, 3, 4, and 10. Pretty easy to get the AI there. But beware the AI in turns 5 as well as 7 through 9. Again, they tend to brake a lot harder, and they'll pack up as well. So again, keep that in mind if you're going for one of those clean race bonus runs there, because that will definitely screw it up if you don't. Next, World Touring Car 800. This is a 12-lap race with 7 times fuel use and 10 times tire wear at Circuit Gilles-Villenueve. And of course, 800 horsepower or less, all the tires there. You could use a Group 3 car, you could use something else as long as it meets the 800 performance points. I'm going to actually use a Group 3 car because actually there's an ideal one. And for me, one of them is this Porsche 911 GT3R. And I found it so good that I just used stock setup. And of course I always start on mediums. Now, let's do a lap around here in this car. So we start with turn 1, brake just as that grade comes up over that curb there, and down again. I keep it 2nd, and then accelerate right on out of there. I do that so I don't have to contend with a lot of wheel spin. And then down to 2nd gear there, over the curb, and over this curb. Carefully accelerate out of there, you will spin it if you want. And then keep it very tight to the inside here. Brake at the 100 board, down to 2nd gear. Take advantage of this curb here, this will turn the car. And then carefully accelerate out here. This curb that will keep you on the track there. And just keep to the left. And this is going to be a tricky section right here. You want to brake just as that 100 board comes on the screen there. And you can take that much curb, and you'll be fine. You won't have any penalties there. But as long as you take that much, you should be good. And then for this corner here, brake just as you see that exit come up there. You can also take advantage of that patch. Roll that in and then come right on out. As long as you exit right there, you should be fine. You got this long run before the chicane comes up there. Plenty of time to work out your braking spot and set yourself up just right. And you want to pay attention here because this is how you get those curves. Or brake just for 100 board and right about here. No further, no slower or faster than that, unless you'll be into the wall. So, that is a lap around Circuit Gilles-Villenueve. Now, let's get to the race itself. So, for this here, medium's usually the viable option, although some softs could actually work depending on the car you use. One stop is the most effective strategy, lap 8 being the ideal time to do so, at least for me. Recommended Group 3 cars for this tend to be the Ferrari 296 GT3 or the Porsche 911 GT3R, as again, for me, these were very effective. And the non-Group 3 cars, the Mercedes or the McLaren. And finally, the special race here, Xiaomi SU7 Ultra 1 make. This is a 5-lap race at Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya layout with no chicane, thank goodness. And of course, you'll be doing it in this car here. So, let's bring out the tricked one that I've already had before. As you can see there, stock setup, racing hards, that's about all there. So now, to show you how to get an effective lap around here. And the key to do so is just patience and being precise with everything. So brake right about that 200 board very early because of how much you have to slow this thing down. Around 66 to 70 miles per hour through that corner. And then here, you want to hold it about the 90 or so, 80 maybe. And then right here, get on the throttle, you'll be fine, you'll be spinning out. And then you want to brake right about there, way before that bridge comes up. And again, hold that throttle right there, and then get on it right here. Noticing I'm emphasizing when to do that. Brake again, here. Hold that throttle here, hold it, and then accelerate right on out to the curb here. Trying to give you the optimal time to do this without spinning. Braking again, turn in, and get on the throttle so that you have it straight. That way you will not spin out. And again, brake a bit, about 79 or so. And then accelerate right here. You'll be safe on the curb. We're going down to this corner here. You want to brake just as that patch is right up there, all the way down to about 39 or so. Use that curb if you need to. And accelerate a bit, not too hard though. Brake again. Hold it about 60 or 60 or so. Hold it, and accelerate right here. And then here you kind of get off the throttle a little bit, like the curves a bit. A little on the throttle there. You want to brake just as that sausage curve. Again, hold it and accelerate right about here. As long as you remember to do that, you should be fine. And that is a lap around the Circuit de Barcelona. Now on to the race itself. And of course, this thing does have a boost function, so you'll want to do that if that's a little easier to pass the AI on the straight. But for the most part, be patient and precise with your throttle control. That is the key to trying to get this car to work. That's a lot of power and a lot of weight you have to contend with after all. And the best overtaking spots I found are the front stretch, turn 1, turn 4, 10, and 14. The least amount of trouble. So that is it for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed this, whether you've just logged in or have logged in quite a while. If you enjoyed, like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell icon so you'll be notified when these come up. So, until then, I will see you guys in the next video.